This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Work can be a little weird. Cringy training seminars, coworkers who won't stop talking about their plant, forgetting the mute button at an inopportune moment. We have to deal with a lot on any given workday. Sometimes it can feel hard to thrive and move forward in your career. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in. LinkedIn helps you get ideas and insights from experts in your field, connect with people professionally, grow your network, and access tools designed to help you find the right fit for your next role. Whether you're just getting started, figuring out your next move, or looking to accelerate your career, LinkedIn is built to support you at every stage because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more. Hey, and welcome to the Short Stuff. Josh, Chuck, Jerry, not Dave, but Dave still anyway, Short Stuff.
That's right. Another banger of a job by you. Thanks to your research with Science of Food Journal, The Marketing Sage, Optimizing Nutrition, Across the Margin, our old friends at howstuffworks.com, Mashed, and Pinolian, the Pinolian, whatever that is.
That's right. Yeah, they were all very good resources because this is kind of like a wide-ranging topic. We're talking about Bliss, the Bliss point, which is essentially what food scientists have come up with to make you eat and crave junk food ceaselessly.
Yeah, you have a pretty startling stat here out of the gate. The average American consumed, and this was a few years ago in 2022, 126.4 grams of sugar a day, which is 101 pounds or 46 kilos of sugar per American per year. Some people say it's like up to 150, which is a ton of sugar. In 1915, that number was about 17 and a half pounds. And processed foods were developed in that time span, and that's literally to blame.
Yeah, for sure. And that's added sugar. That's not like the sugar from fruit. It's the sugar that you could like put into a package and sell at the store. That's the sugar that they're counting right there.
Yeah.
And there's a guy named Michael Moss. He wrote a book that you probably have heard of called Salt, Sugar, and Fat. Came out, I don't know, within the last decade or so. But he talks about a market researcher named Howard Moskowitz. And Moskowitz basically gave us the food industry as we understand it today. And I looked up and down to see if he expressed any remorse at the end of his life, and he doesn't seem to have been anything but proud of his work. But the reason he revolutionized the food industry is that in the 70s, he identified the idea of bliss points. Like, it was almost a discovery as more than an invention. And that is the perfect balance between fat, sugar, and salt in any given food product. It's not the same for every food product. It's specific to each individual Dorito or Cheeto or whatever. And if you do it right, people are just going to eat those things constantly, and they're not going to stop. They're going to have trouble stopping, in fact.
Yeah, he was what's known as a psychophysicist, and they are people who look at the relationship between a stimulus and your brain's response to it. Mm-hmm. And in this case, we're talking about taste as far as the stimulus, and then as far as our brain's response, it's like, I want to eat all of that I can.
Right.
And he was eventually became known as like a really pretty brilliant market researcher who would pump out these really detailed reports on consumers consuming.
Right. Yeah.
And some of these could be like over 100 pages long, like really drill down to like kind of weird levels of specificity and granularity.
Yeah.
And he would discover a bliss point of something. And I think he's really well known for helping Prego, the saucier, come up with their chunky variety. And he introduced 32 different mustards and 17 different olive oils and a lot of other products to the market.
Yeah. And again, by just doing this exhaustive market research and interviews and focus groups and testing to just figure out what people wanted and then figure out how to make it so that the most people would buy it because it had maximal palatability.
Yeah, and we have bliss points for everything, basically. They're different for different macronutrients. Bliss points for junk food are just heavily engineered to do that. But there are natural bliss points, like protein satisfies people pretty quickly. So I think Marty Kindall says on the Optimizing Nutrition blog, had a pretty funny mistake that we beat on. That if a food has a protein content of just 14%, that's going to make you feel satisfied. And that's why a lot of high protein diets are recommended, because you're just probably not going to eat as much because you can feel fuller and become satisfied more quickly.
Yeah, and also that's why you rarely find protein in junk food.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want you to feel satisfied. They don't want you to feel satiated. They just want that bliss point such that your brain's just like, keep going, keep going. And the reason why salt, fat, and sugar are focused on is because those three combined basically set off all of our taste buds, right?
Yeah.
So it really like pumps out a huge message to our brain saying like, this is amazing. Let's just eat this forever. And like you said, everything kind of has a bliss point. And also most foods, or a lot of foods, have these same three ingredients naturally. But again, these foods like aren't really engineered to keep us going, to maximize the bliss point. They just kind of have a natural version in it. Like an apple tastes good because it has its own bliss point, but it's not so highly engineered that you don't just keep eating apple after apple.
Yeah, that would make you sick in your belly.
Yes, because they're high in fiber. They're good for that.
Yeah. Should we take a break?
Yeah, we should.
Everyone knows winter is the real mess maker. You don't need WeatherTech floor liners for summer unless you hit the beach and half the beach ends up back in your car, or the campsite dirt ends up in your trunk. Then you'd want a cargo liner, or a road trip goes sideways, lemonade spills, ketchup goes rogue, ice cream drips. Yeah, you'd be pretty happy about those WeatherTech seat protectors. So just to be clear, as the mud you're inevitably going to step in this summer, you don't need WeatherTech unless you plan on doing summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today.
All cat parents understand the feeling of being ignored by your cat and often asking yourself, does my cat even love me? And there is only one solution to solve that: Sheba. Feed your cat Sheba and go from feeling ignored to truly adored in 12 days guaranteed, or your money back. Sheba has a menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, and even a kittens menu. So Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater, like the Sheba Puree, which is made with bone broth. It's a protein-rich, lickable treat with chef-inspired flavors. It has a smooth and creamy texture that cats love. Plus, it supports a strong bond between pet parents and their cats with a hand-fed cat treat. It also contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. So instead of feeling ignored, you're suddenly the center of their world. It's basically a fast pass to favorite human status. Next time you're wondering if your cat loves you, grab Sheba Puree or explore their entire range of textures and flavors at your local retailer. To learn more, check out Sheba.com.
Well, now, when you're on the road, driving in your truck, why not learn a thing or two from Josh and Chuck? It's stuff you should know. Stuff you should know. All right.
So again, salt, fat, sugar, these three things, if you can get that down, your food company will probably be successful. If you can figure out how to just kind of put them together just right. And they serve other purposes too, like salt masks the taste of other ingredients pretty well.
Yeah.
Sugar is also a preservative, so the shelf life of a product is extended from it. But really, taste is essentially what you're trying to do with this. But it goes to show you just how not precarious, what a juggling act it is.
Yeah.
To come to the bliss point, so it's maximally palatable, but also there's enough sugar in there to keep your, stovetop stuffing from turning bad on the shelf if you don't move them fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those that's kind of disappointing to learn how they're not like, hey, let's make something that people really like and that tastes awesome. Mm-hmm. They're like, let's make something that they will eat and eat and eat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I just became German.
That's the problem with 20th century business mindset that's still around today is hook your audience and you'll have profits for your shareholders constantly.
Yeah, from Doritos to social media.
Yeah, it sucks.
So we don't know, you can't get a recipe for Dorito, like an actual recipe.
Right.
But that optimizing nutrition blog that you found, they looked at hundreds of thousands of food logs and came up with some pretty good guesses on sort of a prime bliss point ratio, I guess.
Yeah.
wherein sugar makes up or should make up about 23.5% of the calories, salt about 2.9 grams per 2,000 calories, and fat about 24% of the food's calories. And again, this is not if like the construction of a good diet. This is if you're looking to maximize that bliss point.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not a good diet.
Right.
So there's other things that come into play that food scientists have figured out along the way. Do you remember the chewy granola bar revolution of the early 90s?
Yeah, sure. Those are good.
Chewy mouthfeel was basically investigated, and they figured out how to maximize that. And then also crunchy, you can't really sneeze at that. But the biggest invention or the biggest discovery, aside from bliss point, as far as food science goes, is vanishing caloric density, which is really important for junk food.
Yeah, this is incredible. This is the idea that something that you put in your mouth to eat that has that sort of melts in your mouth quality, your brain doesn't register that you are eating calories. So that's when, like, popcorn is one of them. That's why you can sit down and eat a giant tub of popcorn at the movies. Yep. Because it kind of has that melt in your mouth feel, and your brain's not saying, like, maybe you should put this down because you're eating a lot of calories. It doesn't signal your brain in that way. And a little fact that I learned from your research that hits home to my family was that they have found that Cheetos, Michael Moss said that is the perfect snack for as far as bliss point goes, as far as the crunchy mouthfeel, the flavor ratio, and most importantly, that vanishing caloric density. And my friend, my wife, Emily, has a Cheeto problem, such
really?
That we don't keep Cheetos in the house. She's like, I can't stop eating them when they're in the house.
I know how she feels. I've got some products like that that I don't keep in the house.
You can't.
I do have to say, though, that it's gotten easier and easier with just how ridiculous the prices are for chips these days.
Yeah, chips are pricey.
It's insane, Chuck. Like a bag of Ruffles, printed on the bag is $7.50 for half of a bag of Ruffles potato chips now. That is insane. The only good part of it is hopefully more and more people are like, I'm not eating chips anymore. This is dumb.
Yeah, I mean, we don't eat a lot of that stuff. We, when we'll go to the lake for the weekends with like kids and stuff, we'll get like chips and dip, and that's always fun. I do have a French onion sun chip problem.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love those so much.
The mouthfeel of those turned me off, actually.
Oh, I love it. And they also, they're one of those sort of evils that make you think you're eating sort of a healthy, like a multigrain thing. Right. And it's like, I don't think those are any healthier than a fried potato chip.
Right. Well, here, take my hand and help me off of my soapbox, because I have a follow-up question about Emily's Cheeto problem.
All right, let's hear it.
Does she like the original Cheetos, the straight-ahead version, or is she more like a fiery, hot version kind of Cheeto lover?
No, she's a standard Cheeto, and to be specific, not a cheese puff either, like a real Cheeto, like a Fred Flintstone Club Cheeto. Mm-hmm. But it's funny that she accidentally got some of those Flamin' Hots, and Ruby was like, I want to try those. And we were like, no, those are way too hot. You can't eat those. And she was like, no, I can handle it. And she ate it, and it was one of those things where you can see like her eyes starting to water, and she was like, these are really good. I like these.
She played it off.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I want to take those to school. And then we later found she was trading them.
I'm sure. Yeah. She's like, here, try one of these. You'll love it.
Exactly.
So just figuring out the bliss point is not enough. You don't just figure it out and release it. You try a million different combinations. Maybe not a million, but not that far off. And you test it with people. That's how you fine tune everything and get it just right so that you find that bliss point that's going to help you sell as much. And so those taste tests can like really start to add up. There's some legendary ones, as a matter of fact. One of them is Prego Chunky.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. They had 45 different versions of Prego Chunky that they were testing until they got to their main one. And then I'm going to let you handle the Dr. Pepper because that's just amazing.
Cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper. They went through 61 different versions and 4,000 different taste tests.
Wow.
Before they finally released it. And it's not bad.
I've never tried it. I mean, I'm not a Dr. Pepper guy. It's such a specific, I don't hate it, but it's just not one I go to.
I'm not either, but that's, or wait, maybe it's the cream soda Dr. Pepper that's not bad. I don't really drink it either, but I tried one once and I was like, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
What about Oreos, Chuck? Because one of the things they've become known for in the last few years is releasing just nutso flavors all the time.
Yeah, and this is probably the Gen X in me coming out, but I love I do love a standard Oreo, but to me they hit peak Oreo with the double stuff standard.
Oh, really? You don't like lemon?
No, I mean,
wow.
I'm not into lemony desserts.
I see. Yeah, you probably wouldn't like lemon Oreos then. I think they're very good. And I also think some of the limited editions they've come out with are pretty good. Like Birthday Cake, which was the first one they did to commemorate their 100th birthday back in 2012. To me, it was very good. I think it's still around. To me, the pinnacle was Rice Krispie Treats Oreos. They were amazing.
That sounds so good.
They were really, really good. If they re-released any, I would definitely go get those. But I've very fortunately been like, I should probably stop buying like crazy flavored Oreos because I just eat the whole bag like in one sitting, basically.
Oh man, glass of cold whole milk.
Yeah, Oreos go really well with that. But the reason why that they've been releasing so many flavors is that they figured out when they release a crazy flavor, it gets lots of press, so it gets people to the stores, right? And they found that when people are at the stores to buy that crazy flavored Oreo, they apparently remember how much they love the original Oreos, like you, so they buy both.
Yeah.
That's great to an extent. I guess it's great for Nabisco.
Yeah, I bet that was a finding, too, where they were like, oh, my God, look what's happening.
Yeah.
Chuck went to get a Lady Gaga Oreo, and he got the double stuff as well.
I know, that's so weird. That was one of the flavors. And I guess before we sign off, Chuck, I think we should remind everybody, as we have many times, Oreo is the knockoff. Hydrox was the original.
That's right.
Everybody's short stuff is out.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.